I'm thrilled to welcome Teri Robinson, CEO of Ironworkers USA Credit Union and one of this year's Herb Wagner Memorial Award honorees. You guys, it's one of the highest honors in the credit union movement, and she's right here with us on the BD Now channel. This episode shines a light on Teri's pride and passion for serving her members. She is so genuine, unstoppable in the best possible way, and truly inspiring. You will hear how she's creating unforgettable connections to her brand, highlighting how she's transforming swag into something, air quotes, hot and sexy. Teri's Credit Union feels like a cool club that ironworkers and their families across the country want to be part of. After this episode, I promise you will be thinking about how to step up your creativity. Hi, credit union friends, and welcome to the BD Now channel. Today we have Teri Robinson with us. Hi, Teri.
Hello.
Thanks for the swag, Teri.
Yeah, you bet. I love that you're representing.
Yes, I love it. I love it. We'll talk more about that today. Can you tell us a little bit about Ironworkers USA Credit Union?
You bet. We are an associational common bond, is what it's called, for our field of membership. We could help ironworkers throughout the United States, union ironworkers that belong to the union and the international union, and the contractors, and also their employees and family members is the way we wrote our charter. So that's kind of who we are. My members are members that work around the United States building America. They build a lot of the infrastructure, the bridges, the buildings, any projects that are going on in a community. Maybe it's a new tech industries coming in. Usually my members are there in the field working amongst, consumers.
You have been such an advocate for small credit unions. And as we're in the midst of so many small credit unions merging, I'm just curious, was there a point where you said, no, that's not our path. I'm going to double down. And because, Teri, when I look at your brand identity, it's rock solid. I mean, you know who your members are. You speak to them. I have glittery tools on my shirt. Your brand is amazing. So was
Thank
there a
you.
moment for you?
Oh, there have been so many moments. I had when we were in net worth restoration plan by the NCUA, and I had to come up with a plan to reduce expenses and potentially maybe not be a credit union. And I just remember sitting with an examiner in my boardroom with the whiteboard and saying, please just let me have a chance at this. If you make me, because they had suggested I close a couple of my branches in Seattle and Spokane, I said, if you make me close those members, first of all, aren't going to get helped anywhere else. And they're going to think we don't care. And our delinquency is even going to go higher. So there was definitely moments at that time that I thought maybe it's time for us to just merge. Maybe we're not really who I think we should be. And then I'd have another moment where I'd snap out of it, that whole, what are you thinking? Because I knew I was in charge of the destiny of this credit union. And I would have a member come in and stand in my office. And then I knew, oh, this is exactly why we're here. And just keep going and keep pushing. And I had some core staff that were with me that were ladies just like me that thought we're here for a reason, we have a purpose, and then I knew I had to just keep doing this for them to have a job, especially when I saw other credit union people merging and closing up their shop, and then whole departments of people would be gone from those credit unions. I knew I couldn't do that to them. So
Your mission-driven heart
thank you.
has helped so many people I know. And I want to talk a little bit about your marketing and your swag and how and I'll try to include some photos for people, but really go to Ironworkers USA Credit Union and check out their website because they know, as I said before, who their members are, and the swag and the brand is strong. And so how does the swag that you have kind of support your overall growth strategy and your messaging?
Well, I think I learned quickly when we were in our net worth at restoration plan that I had to do a lot on dimes or pennies. and I couldn't spend a lot on marketing. And I first started with this little air freshener, custom air freshener. And I was inspired by what I saw the ironworkers wearing, and hats and t-shirts and stickers. And that's where I thought, okay, if I created something like that that had our name on it, maybe they would take it and hand it out, because I didn't have a lot of business development people helping me, that could travel around and meet our members everywhere where they were. And so I created that air freshener. And I even had a staff person say, oh, we're spending money on this when we don't even get raises. And I had to explain, even if we spent $2,000 on these air fresheners, if it brings in one loan, that pays for all of this. And when you look at my expenses, the most expensive thing on my balance sheet or income statement is my staff wages. So spending a little bit in marketing is okay to see if it's, going to reach the masses. And it did. That was like the first thing that I realized, oh, okay. So then I thought, well, let me do a sticker that they put on their hard hats. And it was just kind of thinking, what would my members really take and spread? And I had a basket one year at Christmas time on my desk full of the air fresheners. And then I have a Christmas tree. And I'm so cheap that I took the air fresheners, punched a hole in the plastic and a paper clip, and I put them all over the tree. And then the member gets up and leaves my desk, and he goes out the door. But before he goes out the door, I hear ting, ting. And I hear that he's pulling these off of my tree. And that's kind of when I knew, okay, I'm on to something. And I was like, hey, you could have taken a basket full here, but you choose to take the ones off my tree. I just thought that was kind of cute that they would take my cheesy ornaments that I had. And so then it just kind of mushroomed into that, and trying to participate in any picnic or anything. And I would think, okay, what could I take there that people would take and use, not to throw away, but to actually use in their day to day. And the next thing I came up with was a t-shirt, an orange one and a green one that they would wear on the job sites, not realizing they're promoting the credit union. But I gave it to them when they got their e-statements. They signed up for e-statements. They downloaded our mobile app. There were things that I dangled that carrot in front of them to say, if you do this, then you'll get this, to justify spending some of that money. So I was looking for cost savings with our statements. I wanted that to reduce. So I thought, okay, well, I could do t-shirts. If I do, some really cheap t-shirts, get them ones that they'll wear to work, and that kind of mushroomed to that. And it, from then on, I obsess about it. I don't know. I think my other
Well, the
couple
box
members.
that this came in was pretty awesome as well. It
Thank
was
you.
the
Yeah.
coolest swag box I've ever seen.
Well, and that started, I had 40 new people coming on a Sunday, and people have heard this story, so I won't go into that again. But I had this other white box I was going to use for something, and I came back from that vacation and I said, you guys, 40 people came in on a Sunday. We got to reward them. And we have all this stuff in our storage room. Let's send them something. They're all over the country, Texas, Utah, Idaho, California. And so I originally still have a picture of the 40 boxes ready to go out to all these members with just white plain boxes. And then I was like, I need to change that box. That needs to be hot and sexy when it comes
Yeah.
out to them. And I thought about FitFab, or, the boxes that, because someone in the office was getting the Chewy box for their dog. And then we had the FitFab boxes coming. And I thought, okay, our members like these. And it just kind of mushroomed. And then we went to the designers of Nike and Adidas boxes. And
Oh,
that's
you
kind of
did.
like,
That's who did them for you.
yeah, yeah.
So smart. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, and it first started, it takes a couple protocols, I guess. The first one, I didn't have it all decked out inside. It was white inside, but the outside looked hot and sexy. So, and it looked like our debit card. It looked like our these thank you cards I had. So I knew I liked that look, but then I was like, no, I got blank material here in this box. I gotta get some more swag. And I'd heard that people were keeping my boxes for
I
like
kept it.
Yeah.
I
And
kept it. Yeah.
somebody kept one for a recovery meeting.
Ah,
They hold an ironworker recovery meeting, and he told me he keeps this box that he got from us with this swag in it. When he opened his account, he uses that every month at their ironworkers recovery meeting. And I thought, okay, now I need to make that really
yeah.
special when that goes to out to these members. So
Well, you're saying what strikes me about it is that it's memorable and it's so truly aligned with your brand identity. And you have made it hot and sexy with your ironworkers. I'm like, I have
right.
blingy tools on my chest. I
Yep.
think that's,
Anything that
yeah,
the blings, anybody likes to look at it when it blings,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
So what advice do you have for other credit unions like looking to find their identity and thinking about how can they go out and maybe invest in some marketing, some swag.
Kind of getting at the level of your membership and watching what are they carrying? What do they do? Are you going to membership meetings? Are you, you know, just being at one with your members? That's the first thing. Everybody doesn't have to do a box. It could be a bag. It could be like I think about. I was in WCMS, Western CUNA Management School years ago, and we had this guerrilla marketing guy come, and he talked about thinking about in the example he gave us is you're holding a conference and you think about that consumer, that person that's coming to your conference from the moment that they're packing their bag, they're putting their suitcase in the car to come to you, to come to the airport. They get off the airport, and what are they seeing as they're coming to your convention? Is there subliminal stuff? Is there things? So I kind of think of it from that perspective. Um, like every touch point that my member has, they're going to think about us. And so is it when they go back to their office and they sit down and they have a coffee mug and they look at the coffee mug and somebody walks in and sees that coffee mug and says, where did you get that from? Like, think about those moments that your members could be advertising for you and um, promoting you without even realizing that that's what they're doing. And it doesn't cost you a lot to do that. I don't think, it's easily done on a dime. Is it pens? Is it air fresheners like us? Is it Christmas ornaments? Whatever it is, we've done all of those, so that's
Yeah.
why I say that.
Yeah, thinking about what resonates, what's memorable, and I like what you're saying about the journey that they're thinking about you. And they probably, I'm guessing that they love supporting you. Is that right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, we get members all day long. I've gotten them in 2:30 in the morning on Instagram messaging me saying he's out of a air freshener, that every guy that gets in his truck steals his Ironburger air freshener. And he says, will you send me another air freshener? And I was like, I'm not just sending you one air freshener, I'm sending you one of our boxes stuffed with air fresheners. And the only thing I ask of you, I said, is that you hand them out to every ironworker you see. And he says, you bet I'll do that for you. And that's exactly what happens.
You have raving fans.
Yep.
You
Yep.
do.
Thank you.
Well, you're setting an example for all of us. So thanks for sharing all of these ideas. I hope people put some more thought into the swag and the marketing. And I think it's amazing what you've accomplished, Terry. And I will be cheering you on in DC. Yeah, I'm bringing my shirt with me, of
Cool.
course.
I love it.
And we end on a social spotlight. So, Terry, can you share a name of someone that you follow that inspires you?
Yeah, I follow Chris Bauer with Endurance Federal Credit Union. I like his posts every day that are just inspirational. I screenshot a lot of the inspirational quotes. We've actually even put some up around our office here in the on the walls. I just think creating a positive environment and just reinforcing positive things, it just puts you in a different mindset and, gives you that creativity, I think comes from that. And if you can think, how are we going to push this envelope? And that's what I get from those quotes is like, oh, okay, another way to think about it. Or that's a really good way to say that. I also, just anybody who's positive online, I'm following them too. I the Shark Tank
Yes.
people. I do like to see those innovative ideas, gets my juices flowing, and I hope to inspire my staff and others in the credit union industry that you can do this. Don't give up. We're needed now more than ever when we've got this many payday lenders popping up around us. Let's think of ways that we can still be relative to our members and think about, instead of how many members we have, how many borrowers do we have? Because that's ultimately what's going to drive our credit union, if we can resonate with those members. And if they're dormant or they're not using you, try and figure out why are they still members, and what can you provide them and make them come back to the credit union.
Oh, Teri, well, I'm inspired. Thank you so much for sharing with the Beating Now community. We appreciate everything you do, and I look forward to seeing you in DC.
Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next time, everyone.